GF spent the night at an ex's house 26M23F. Should I break up?
My girlfriend went on vacation out of town with her friends. She had a connecting flight in Denver and her flight back home and all flight directly home got cancelled, so she was put on a flight to the nearest city.
She decided she would buy a flight from another airline in that city to home so she wouldn't have to stay an additional 2 days since that was when the next flight would be. She buys a flight that takes off 8 hours after she lands. She has friends in that city to stay with that are all roommates, but she's not on good terms with one of them, so to avoid an awkward situation she said she was getting a hotel. Turns out she didn't get a hotel and she spent the night at her ex's house before her morning flight. She was there for a few hours and claims nothing happened, but the whole situation just feels icky. Her reasoning was that she spent so much on the trip and that weekend that she didn't want to pay for a hotel she'd only be in for a few hours and that she didn't know how to tell me that was her only option at the time. I don't like the fact that she lied, and with this same person a few months ago words were exchanged between the two that I was not comfortable with. She really may have not been doing anything, but the whole situation and the fact she lied doesn't feel good. I don't want to feel like an idiot for believing someone I'm dating. 8 hours at an airport is nothing. Airports have food, bathrooms, shops, everything you need to kill 8 hours. She saw an opportunity to get blasted by her ex-BF, so she did. Oh, by the way, honey, I didn't want to pay for a hotel, so I spent the night with another guy the first used to bang. But it's no big deal. Just walk away, bro. It's only going to get worse if you stay. Dump her. She knows how bad it looks and is why she didn't tell you beforehand. It doesn't matter if she slept with him or not because she lied and now your trust and faith in her is broken. She knew it would cause a problem and figured forgiveness is easier to get than permission. Please prove her wrong. She lied. We all know you can't stay over at an ex's house, period. She 100% cheated. Don't try to convince yourself nothing happened. It definitely happened. Anyone in any respectable relationship knows you absolutely cannot stay over at the opposite sex's house, especially an ex. You had sex before. You will do it again. People will cheat. The way they prevent that from happening is making sure they're not in positions to give in to temptation, i.e. not staying at an ex's house. I'm sorry, this must be very painful to you, but it's time for her to go. She disrespected you and slept with her ex, and lied to you about it. 8 hours until the next flight and she still has to get back in time to process through security and check in with the airline, plus travel time to and from his place. Who does all this for maybe 2 hours of sleep? All of us reading this are saying all she really had time for was sex. Even if she didn't, how could she not realize what this looks like and realize she just threw away her relationship with you? Well, she's crossed 2 lines. 1. She lied about getting a hotel room. 2. She lied about meeting up with her ex-boyfriend. Since she lied twice already, can you trust her when she said nothing happened? Follow your gut feeling. She could have called you and discussed it with you beforehand but told you after the fact. Have her take a lie detector test? Update me. I, 36F, feel like my boyfriend, 32M, cheated on me but he disagrees. Where do I draw the line? My 36F boyfriend, 32M, and I aren't seeing eye to eye on where the boundary of cheating in a relationship begins. We're still pretty new and have only been together 2.5 months, and this happened about a month ago or so now, but I only just found out about it. We are in an official relationship. He went and spent the night at a friend's house that he's never really mentioned before, and lied to me about where he was. Told me he was at work late then at home, when really he was at her house. Is that not cheating? He even made up a huge dramatic story about how there was an accident and so he had to work all night. According to him, nothing happened and he slept in the spare room. I feel cheating begins the second you start hiding things, other people. He feels cheating doesn't start until you're actually physical. What say you? Is this cheating? If no, where does the line begin? I want to trust him, but the whole situation seems fishy. I've been cheated on in the past, but I don't know if I'm just projecting my insecurities? Edit. He said the reason he spent the night there was because he was going through some stuff and needed someone to talk to. There's a reason he lied about it. Cheating is whatever is outside of the agreed upon boundaries of the people in a relationship. I would be less concerned on whether or not he cheated, and more concerned about the fact that he lied to you about where he was. You've only been dating for 2 months, just break up.
I think you might want to spend some time with yourself and explore why you focused in on the technicalities of what counts as cheating instead of the fact that he lied to you. Do you feel like you need a good enough reason to end a relationship, and lying itself isn't good enough? Do you know that you deserve a relationship without lies and manipulation even if there's no cheating? Who cares if he cheated? He's a liar. Trust is the issue here, and you know he can't be trusted. Find someone better. You deserve it. You don't need him to agree with you on what you define as cheating. If that's cheating to you, end of story. He omitted information and continued to deceive you. Plus, I don't think a partner male should not spend the night at a friend's house. There are motels, hotels. And if that's how you define cheating, then he cheated and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I, F19. Cried because my boyfriend, M19, laughed at my stomach. Was that an overreaction? I, F19. Worry my boyfriend, M19, wants me to be thinner. I'm 5 feet 9 and 135 pounds. I'm very insecure about my body and have had issues with eating in the past. I rarely feel comfortable having my stomach out, which is something my boyfriend complains about from time to time. Today we woke up and he reached over and jiggled my stomach, then laughed. It made me cry, and I'm not sure if I'm overreacting. I really feel that he wants me to be thinner. He makes fun of the posts in which guys talk about how they're attracted to a bit of stomach fat and says that they're only saying that to win points with women. In the past, when I found him liking pictures or videos of girls he didn't know, they were all very skinny. One I actually know to be a recovering anorexic because I followed her on TikTok in the past. Once I spoke with him about feeling particularly insecure about my weight on a certain day, and one of his suggestions was that I should go to the gym. He followed this up by saying he meant so that I could move my body for my mental health. When I spoke with him about a time when I was an unhealthy weight due to restriction at 16, he said that it's a pity men would have found me more goonable, attractive, back then. I took issue at the time, and he assured me he didn't mean him, but I don't think most men would have found me more attractive when I was that much thinner, so I was surprised that this occurred to him at all, to be honest. There was also a time when I was pulling back my face fat and skin on my face, and he said that I'm lucky I, actually, have a good facial structure, and that for him he can't lose any more weight because his facial concerns are a matter of bone. I want someone to tell me if I'm reading too much into these things. I feel so unattractive. I know you're young, but this dude is a child. I don't see what the point of him is. He also loses points for saying goonable, which for me would be an immediate deal breaker. You're probably overreacting to how you feel about your looks. I don't think you need to worry about it at all. I do think you're right to feel uncomfortable around him, though. He sounds awful. There are so many better guys out there. I promise. Don't settle for losers who make you feel bad about yourself. Scorecard. Jiggles body parts you're insecure about and then laughs at you. Assumes women who have any weight on them aren't attractive, false, and that anyone who finds them attractive is lying, also false. Dudes would have jerked off to you more at X time in your life. Bro what? Tells you to go to the gym instead of reassuring you he finds you attractive. This dude sucks and you deserve better. Just break up with him, he's an asshole and you don't want to be tied down to someone like that. Also, I cannot imagine you even have much of a stomach if you're only 135 pounds at 5 feet 9. So if this dude is implying he wants you to develop an eating disorder, that's even more grounds to break up. Just get out. Based on your height and weight, you are considered quite slender. At the age of 19, you will probably be the thinnest you will ever be. It's a fact of life. He's treating you this poorly now. How's he going to treat you when you inevitably gain 50+ lbs due to illness, medication, pregnancy? My weight over the years has fluctuated 80 pounds depending on whatever health condition I was going through. My husband didn't care about the weight at all. He cared much more about whether or not I was listening to the doctor's orders. That's the type of person you should be looking for. I am 5 feet 9 inches 135 is extremely tiny. Before I had a single child I was 162. What in the actual fuck are people comparing themselves to? A crackhead? I want you to be real here. If you weren't dating and thus have a degree of investment in his approval and affirmation, wouldn't a guy acting and talking like this give you the ick? Like, listen to him, look at what he does, it is vile. Grabbing your stomach like that, especially aware that you've had weight concerns in the past.
That's the sort of stuff schoolyard bullies do that traumatizes a victim for the rest of their life.
And this creep is meant to be your partner. With friends like this, who needs enemies, right? You deserve more than this. You deserve a partner that doesn't treat you this way, and it isn't even as if the relationship is working well anyway. I, 25 female, saw that my father, 58 male, has Tinder on his phone. Should I tell my mom? So today my father asked me for help about some app on his phone, and while browsing really fast I immediately noticed the Tinder app on his phone. Him and my mom, 54 female, have been together for almost 30 years now, but they have always been fighting a lot, and recently my mother expressed concern to me that she thinks my dad is cheating. It is suspicious because suddenly he started to take a lot of care for himself more than usual, and today I saw the app on his phone. I am conflicted on whether or not I should say anything because they are grown people already, and so am I. I am very close to my mom, but to my dad too, and I feel that if I say something I will set a giant bomb that will explode. But I also fear that if I don't say anything and my mom finds out later, she could be more hurt. I thought about asking my dad up front about it, but it feels really awkward to do so. What should I do? Please tell her.
If he has Tinder on his phone, it's not to pay his bills.
Make a fake account and set up a date with him. Bring mom to the date.
You absolutely tell her.
Or tell your dad what you saw on his phone and pull the card of, if you don't tell mom by the end of the day I'm going to. Tell her.
My dad looks at chicks on Facebook and crap, which even just that made my mom so insecure she got Botox and Ozempic.
I could only imagine if he had a Tinder. Please tell her. 100% tell your mom. Please always remember in these types of situations that you are not setting off the bomb. Your father initiated the bomb. It was eventually bound to go off.
You're preventing mass casualties by telling your mother and saving her from potential STDs, as well as her dignity.
Fuck liars who try to justify their actions as, they're not hurting anyone, if nobody knows.
They are robbing people of their choice and autonomy.